You're listening to the Electronic Media Collective Podcast Network. Yeah, it's a mouthful. For more great shows like the one you're about to enjoy, visit electronicmediacollective.com. And now, our feature presentation.
Hi, this is Del Morgado.
Hi, this is Tim Rose, who played Admiral Akbar in Return of the Jedi.
This is Kim Possible.
Mandy Cowell here.
Hey everyone, it's Tammy Stronach from The Neverending Story.
This is Jeremy Taggart from the Taggart and Torrance podcast.
Hey, this is Loki Corn Cosplay.
Hey, I'm DJ Jenny Rock from Neil and Johnny Drink in the Park.
And I'm Neil Young from Neil and Johnny Drink in the Park, Johnny's best friend.
You're not my best friend.
You're my best friend.
You're not.
Hello, this is Dr. Steve-O.
Hello, this is Andrew Chalmers, the writer and doctor in Doctor Who Dark Journey.
Hey, what's cracking, y'all? It's your boy J-Rock. You know I'm You're listening to Droids Canada podcast.
Enjoy your chimichanga.
Warning. Listener discretion is advised.
That means there's a lot of fucking swearing.
Hello.
And we are live, Droids Canada podcast in the
bunker. His house.
That's it. You're just like bunker.
No, it's the what is it? The studio in his apartment.
You guys are called droids. Why isn't this called the cantina?
What's that?
Oh, I didn't think about that. That would actually really have been good.
I'm just saying.
Maybe the rest of 2018 it can be the cantina.
Like we call ours the rat hole.
The rat hole. Yeah.
You know.
Well, because you named your show RATG Radio because it's the acronym to Ryan's All Things Geek.
Right, but when we do the live stream, it's not Ryan's All Things Geek. This is a misconception by a lot of people.
Okay.
RATG actually stands for Ryan and That Guy, or
that guy.
No, for real.
So you make Steve feel a little special for that.
Well, because we're on our live stream. It's not just a geek show. It's not a pop culture show. We're an entertainment show. We just do everything. Like anything's up for grabs on those shows. We don't talk politics, mind you.
Oh my god!
Because I don't know if you've ever seen my Facebook wall before.
I'm so wanting to be able to talk politics with someone on a show.
You know what? And I will do a podcast on politics, no problem. But you're one of my friends on Facebook.
Yes.
Have you seen when I post just about it being a nice day out, the shitstorm? I'm sorry. Can we swear here?
Fuckity fuck.
Okay, fucking right. Have you seen the fucking chaos that starts on my walls just by me saying it's a beautiful day out?
But that is like your Big John McCarthy, and you're like, are you ready? Are you ready? Let's get it on. And then you just entertained. Entertained.
I was offered recently, and I swear this is a real thing. And I'm considering it. But I've been offered to, they want to do a Jerry Springer type show with me on Facebook. And I was like, yeah, well, it doesn't pay. So that's the one thing that's not good. It doesn't pay to start. So
podcasting doesn't pay. It doesn't pay.
What do you mean?
Once in a while.
I was going to say, I don't know about that.
Once in a while.
So just to kind of kick this off, you are watching the Droids Canada podcast. We are joined today with Ryan Fleming from Ryan's All Things Geek. Thanks for joining us today.
Thanks for having
me.
Thanks for the invite.
This is a big day for me now because I never get to read the card.
No.
Oh, right. Okay.
So today I get to read the card because we actually had
I'm just sick of AJ bitching at me because I still read off the card.
We had a little TV spot today, and I'm like, you got to read off the card. And you don't have the card with you, and I was like, oh shit, what are we gonna do? So
I have business cards on me.
You can find our award-nominated podcast on iTunes, Google Play, Stitcher, EMC, Laughable. I can't read this, dude. I need glasses.
Oh my god, you fucking
You're all Podcast Addict. We are on Point of Interest. What else? Did I miss anything?
They're everywhere.
They're
like City TV.
Okay, what are we on Facebook?
Droids Canada.
And what are we on the Twitter?
Yes. What the hell was that?
Yeah, dude, I can't read.
Oh my god, AJ. AJ.
Oh, good.
Did you go to school in Welland? Is that the problem? You didn't go to Notre Dame, obviously. You must have went to East Hill or Westbrook.
It was Notre Dame.
Oh,
it was
what?
Notre Dame.
It's the
Wow,
Notre
Deb
Dame.
Spiati would be so upset with you right now.
Oh, spaghetti.
Oh, I love Spiati. I love Spiati.
I was heard that name forever.
I had Spiati for Screen Ed.
Oh, well, you know what? I never went to Notre Dame, but I was part of the Canal Bank Players, or
okay.
the Notre Dame Theater, as it used to be called. Yes.
See, I was part of the
she
other.
was my director in a ton of plays.
I was part of the other Canal Bank Theater.
Oh, the smoking drugs one. No.
Never.
Never. I don't even know what that means. I'm sorry.
Really?
No,
you didn't throw the card.
Okay, I gotta throw.
Hold on, wait. Throw it.
That was the worst throw
oh my
ever.
God, it's
No,
like...
David let him in with the crowd. There you go.
There you
let him in
go.
with the crowd.
All right, so yeah, we are here in the podcast bunker / cantina.
The cantina. And we have been asking, complaining, bitching, moaning to get Ryan on the show now for 2 years?
I don't know what you're talking about.
But it's okay. I
talking
can
about.
go down to his little radio show. But you know, it's kind of good you waited because
Wait, when you were on my show, like what?
Twice, 3
Yeah.
times maybe.
When we're still at 103.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're still on the radio.
Yeah. It was fun. Very sweaty. No, both times I remember going there, it's like there's no air conditioner.
No, and that studio was so tight in there.
It always was the hottest day of all
the
time.
one time we were on Niagara College radio, it was the same. The studio was so ridiculously hot, and I ended up getting a leg cramp. And I'm trying to I'm like.
What's their studio like, aside from the sweatiness?
Their studio's nicer.
It's modern.
Oh yeah,
It's very modern.
Because even though ours was FM, it was so ass backwards there. I'm sorry, I love you, Deb, but
that wasn't a wink. That was a mini stroke.
that was a mini stroke. Yes. That was actually my co-host Steve actually hearing me say that and sending like death vibes my way for sending her any kind of thing.
If you want to shit on him, it's wellandwingnuts
at
gmail.com.
And you can hop on.
I remember that. Don't worry.
Yes, and you can hop on the same boat as KK's friends. And
that's
fans.
awesome that you guys had that running with KK because,
I love her.
I think she's great, but...
you know what, though? I guess nobody's been hearing this.
No, we have us on mute. Yeah.
So, I'll give the backstory if I can real quick.
So there was no incriminating stuff.
So KK, Christy Knight, who's I think one of the greatest DJs of all time in the Niagara region, was my favorite growing up. Her and Iron Mike Benson, but she's salty. She's salty, and that's part of her charm on the radio.
Right.
But part of the thing that they've always done at 97.7 is to shit on Welland any chance they can get.
You don't have to.
And my co-host takes being a Wellander, he takes great pride in that. So much so that he goes by the nom de guerre, the Welland Wingnut. So that just gives you an idea. So he doesn't like this, and he's always commenting on her shit. He always has been since she's been on 97.7. She's moved over to 91.7, and we do I do color commentary for Crossfire Wrestling.
Yeah.
And and I do it along with Chuck LaFleur from 91.7.
Sure.
Somebody told KK about Steve talking shit, and I guess she had said something. Oh, this guy's been following me for a while. Then she posts something about name one thing you make sure you do every single day. Yeah, I don't know if you've seen that meme. So she's like, post something you make sure you do every single day. Steve comments on it. Avoid the KK show.
Oh my god!
Shots fired.
Shots fired indeed. And she went off. She checked his personal page. Saw that it said he was a former commentator with Crossfire Wrestling. Crossfire and 91.7 have a very good working relationship together. As I said, we have Chuck LaFleur as a part of our commentating team. So it didn't go well, and we had her basically reach out to her fans and tell them her displeasure with this, and with our page, mentioned our page.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Oh, no. So we have fans that are calling us. We have fans that are messaging us that are telling us that we're horrible people, this, that, and the other. And at this point, when people are messaging me, I didn't even know what happened with Steve and KK. And people are like just losing their shit. And I'm like, I have no idea what you're even talking about.
So did this bad publicity turn into something good?
It
because
did.
We have our own little situation with a certain Steve.
Yeah.
that was
we smoothed that over.
We did. We smoothed it over.
Ours-
They hugged it out and everything, but
Yeah.
ours was Stephen Amell.
Oh, no way.
There's him right there holding the Facebook post where I pissed him off.
Yes.
Oh, nice.
Yes.
Nice.
One simple comment from him turned into how many thousands of
Oh my God,
hate
so many death
mails
threats
From his fans?
from his
I have
fans.
never had
And
I never had a post go like 7 million before.
But see with us, and I'm sure because it's so much of a bigger star with being Stephen Amell, KK is obviously nowhere near that level. But because of that,
she's got local reach. Everyone knows who KK is.
We gained easily 200 fans over the next 3 days.
100%.
Over the next 3 days, and I'm like, wow, like this.
Nothing
And
wrong with
there's
that.
no reason, and there was no rhyme or reason. It was just an upswing out of nowhere, and we're like, okay, it's got to be this. We're getting heat, and there's no such thing as bad heat. There just isn't.
There's not.
There isn't.
It equals good once it's forgotten about.
Doesn't even have to be forgotten about. Look at fucking Donald Trump.
It's true.
Don't
True.
look
Oh,
at
okay,
Trump,
now.
man. Like you
Oh,
can be
boy.
the biggest douchebag on the face of the planet, and I'm not getting into politics or saying that he's a douchebag, but he is.
No.
But you can be that much of a douche, and you can have so much saying on camera and stuff, and still get elected to president of the fucking United States.
it's true.
It's using the right kind of douchebaggery.
Right.
The right kind.
It's embracing whatever type of press you get.
Yeah.
If you can embrace it, no matter what it is, as long as you can roll with it and be like, I don't give a shit, I own that. That's my badge. All right, oops. Yeah, I grabbed her right by the pussy. I got the grabbed her by the pussy badge right on my shoulder. So, like...
Oh, I'm so happy we're a podcast.
Right? And I have no idea why we got kicked off the radio.
You know what? Your show was pretty lax, though.
We were, but we got in trouble all the time. So this was a Steve and I thing. Every day we went to commercial, the two of us would look at each other, and then we would look at the phone, and we would wait for Deb to call our producer. I should stop saying her name, but it's out there already.
Yeah, the old producer.
Yeah, she's not there anymore?
I don't know. She's still there. She's not your producer anymore.
No, we're on producer number 3 right now. So, and a great producer at that, Trevor Twining. Thanks, brother. But yeah, it was just crazy. I don't know. It's a messed up life that we live in this podcast / entertainment world.
Always interesting. Always something happening. Always something happening.
Let me see your mic for a second.
Why am I too off?
No, I think you knocked it out. There. Because I'm watching your level, and your level's not popping.
Well,
There
Mama
you
said
go.
knock you
There you
out.
go.
There we
Sound
go.
better now. I think when you hit it, you kind of knocked it loose.
So then, with the Ryan's All Thing Geek show, what are you up to with it now?
Ryan and that guy.
Ryan and that guy.
Sorry,
So-
Ryan and
That's
that
right.
guy.
And when
So,
he's not
so
there,
is it officially not Ryan's All Things Geek? It's now Ryan and that guy.
the live stream, that is what it is.
Okay.
That's what it's been for a while. It's almost the coincider to the group page that we have, the RATG group page. Yeah, the show's going really good. There's a lot of things in the works lately. We were approached to organize a charity event, which we did last week.
Right.
WOW, for the WOW mission. It's a Christian mission.
Yeah, I was seeing the postings online for that.
Yeah, exactly. So basically, what it was is we had enough. We had to sell out 60 tickets. Basically,
Sure.
we had enough room for that, and each ticket was $25. And with that $25, all the proceeds, all $25 went to one child in Africa, and $25, believe it or not, sends a kid in Africa to school for an entire year.
Oh, I
so
believe
that
that.
pays for their entire tuition for the entire year.
Nice.
So that was what we wanted to do. So they asked me to come up with an event. I have a lot of improv friends and a lot of friends from kind of the business.
Mm-hmm.
So I had Drew Hayes from 97.7 come out with his improv group from Scared Scriptless. And then the Dandies, they're like this world-renowned...
I know the Toronto Dandies.
Yeah. They're world-renowned for doing their Star Trek improv and stuff like that, the Holodeck Follies. Great group of people. I talked to them. I've interviewed a few of their people before as well. So they came on as well. I have a friend, John Gallagher, who's out in
A two-slice toaster. That guy?
Not that guy.
Okay.
No, John Gallagher, he is a character creation guy. So he does character creation for TV shows like The Flash, Legends of Tomorrow, Supergirl. He worked on Avengers Infinity War, Iron Man. So he comes up with character concept and set concept. He donated a bunch of his artwork that were all just concept photos. So everything from Supergirl to, we had... why can't I think of his name? Spawn. You know,
Tom McFarlane.
Yeah, but no. These are all John.
Oh, John's okay.
Yeah, because that he's an artist, but he comes up. So when you're making a movie, say you're coming up with Captain Marvel, you're like, I need a design for her. John draws a bunch of pictures and says, okay, which one of these?
Which one's going to work
for the movie, right?
Yeah.
And that's what he does. Same with coming up with, what's Asgard going to look like? What's this going to look like? That's his job, right? So and he's good at it because he's the, those are the top ones in Hollywood right now, are the Marvel and the DC ones. So
sure.
So we had him. He donated a bunch of artwork. We had Steve McGinnis as well donate artwork for us, and Jesse Ray Robbins came out and played an acoustic set. So we had all these people come out, and they went to Mills Hardware in Hamilton. I don't know anybody in Hamilton, so this for me, I was pulling my non-hair out because I was just worried about selling tickets. You don't know anybody. It's not like you can say to my friends, "Hey, come on
out to Hamilton."
Yeah, come get drunk in a city an hour and a half away, and then drive back home. It's just not.
Will you be doing any other events like that with this charity?
I think we'll be doing more with WOW because so we sold 55 tickets, but we also had people that bought tickets that were friends of mine that bought tickets who couldn't show up to the event. So all in all, we sent it at last time I counted, it was 63 people, 63 children that we sent to school for a year, which is awesome. Not only that, a proceed of the money of the other money that we collected for that goes to building a factory as well in Zambia. And this factory, they put widows are going to be working there, and in this factory they're making school uniforms. So this way the kids
get the uniform and they get the education,
and the wives have a job that's going to be there forever now for them, so they can sustain themselves, right?
When you get into that again, someone you might want to look into trying to get in touch with is Pinball Clemens.
Yes,
because he has his he's 3,000 schools. He just his charity builds schools in third world countries, and it's amazing.
So I have a funny Mike Pinball Clemens story, believe it or not. I went to school at Humber College for theater arts performance.
Dude, Slumber Cottage, buddy.
All right. Did you go for theater too? Or
S5. No, I just went for nothing.
Or broadcasting? Well, which one were you at? Which campus?
I was at the Etobicoke.
Yeah, me too. Queensway and Kipling.
Yeah, I was S5.
Hey, do you want to get
That's where they filmed Police Academy. The original Police Academy was at our college.
Nice.
Yeah. That's what.
Do you want to get the VP of Cineplex on the phone so you guys can all talk Humber again?
Yeah, the VP of Cineplex was at Humber, and we chatted.
Yeah, but we
chatted about the cottage.
Don't hold that against us.
And the Arbor.
Humber was still a good school, even though we had him.
And the days of the Arboretum.
right.
What are you doing going to the Arb? When will you be back? I hope I make it back.
So my story, college, we all had to work, right? So I was working at the time at Don Cherry's in Etobicoke, Queens 8. That was Queensway and Kipling, right across from this bar called OV's. Shout out. And when I worked there, we catered parties all the time. And we did a party for a promotion company, for a condom company, believe it or not. And all the guests at this party, we had the Toronto Maple Leafs were there, who was it? Gilmore was there, Felix Potvin was there. We had the Jays were there. It was 1993, so it was right after they won their first World Series. Ed Sprague was there. Kelly Gruber was there. Right, and Ty Domi was there with the Leafs, and Mike Pinball Clemens was there. And I was a line cook at the time. This was my first job not in Welland, so I couldn't be a bartender. But Mike Pinball Clemens comes to the back and he's like, "Hey man, I know you guys put all these chicken wings out here. I don't like sauces, blah blah. You think you can make me something dry?" And I'm like, "Dude, you're the pinball. I'll get you whatever you want." And we made him his chicken wings. He stayed back there and talked to us for about an hour and a half straight. I mean, the absolute nicest man you'd ever want to meet in your life. Everything you see on TV, that is Mike Pinball Clemens. He's got that smile on 24/7. I don't know if you remember, though, Ty Domi was trying out for the Argos at the time as a place kicker.
Oh, yeah?
He was trying to be a kicker.
Jesus.
And I saw Domi was there, and him and Pinball, they showed together all the time. They were best friends. And I'm like, listen, Pinball, do you think you can bring Ty Domi back here so I can meet him and get his autograph? I was like, yeah, for sure. So he leaves, and as he leaves, I'm putting some garbage away. I feel a tap on my shoulder, and I turn around and look down, and there's Ty Domi there. And he's like, "Hey, you the kid that wanted to meet me?" And I'm like, "Yeah." He's like, "Yeah, nice to meet you." and turns his back on me in my kitchen and starts to talk to Pinball in my kitchen and like doesn't even acknowledge me after that point.
Just nice to meet you. That's it.
Exactly. So I tied up my my garbage bag and threw it out.
And away you went. Yeah.
Yeah. And that, you know what?
Fuck you, Domi.
I ran into him a second time working at the Hilton, Ty Domi, and I was a valet at the time, or sorry, I was a doorman, and the valets were bringing his car in, and the driver comes in, and he pulls just past him and goes to back up, and as he's backing up, Domi puts his Louis Vuitton bag right behind the car, and the guy backs into it, doesn't run it over or anything. Domi loses his shit, sues the Hilton, everything.
Really?
Biggest douche next to Corey Feldman, the biggest douche I've ever met in my life.
My ex-girlfriend is from a town called Bell River, which happens to be Ty Domi's hometown. Yep. And my God, they hate that man. Like, that town literally hates that man. Like, I went into a bar, and apparently it's because the main street's Notre Dame. And there's like 2 bars on it. There's the Legion and whatever bar. And the one bar, and it's called Not Ty Domi's. So I go into the bar... And it's all, I'm sure fucking Steve would love it, it's all Red Wing shit everywhere. Right. And there's pictures like of Ty Domi's face scratched out and shit. I'm like, oh my God, you guys really hate him that much?
Him getting punched by other hockey players.
Him getting punched out by Bob Probert.
They have like, remember that punching bag game or whatever they had?
Yep, his
face was on the thing. Like,
his face shellacked into the urinal so you could piss on him, that kind of thing.
I'll say one thing about Domi, though. The guy has got a head like a melon. Like, his head is this big, and his body is this big.
So he's the anti-Floyd Mayweather. He's got the little head. Domi's got the big melon.
Do you remember the movie So I Married an Axe Murderer?
Yeah, sure.
Head pants.
That's him. He's head.
He's going to cry himself to sleep on his big pillow.
It's like an orange on a toothpick.
Yep.
What the fuck?
You've never seen that movie?
Great
movie. Oh my God, it's been forever since I've seen it.
Great movie. Mike Myers, maybe his best movie.
I literally like laughed till I cried at that.
Yeah, and that was
Scottish dad. The Scottish dad was he totally made that movie. Now, what do you think of Ty Domi's in between period show that he had on TSN for one day?
It was like that.
Didn't even know.
He had one called Win, Lose, or Tie.
Oh, I did see it.
It
was horrible.
It was so horrible. It lasted, I believe, 1 segment.
Yeah.
It's like, get this guy off.
Yeah, no, I'm not a Domi guy. Ever since that meeting, and I was never really a Domi guy ahead of that. I'm a diehard Sabres fan, so no, I was a Rob Ray guy.
Wow, there's not many of you left.
No, and you know what? Good. I loved it when, like back in the 80s, when it was like me and 3 people in the world that liked the Sabres.
The Sabres were only my number 2 team. They were always my number 2 team.
They were, you know, and what I always said, and it was my favorite saying, when people would be like, why are you a Sabres fan? I'm like, well, they're the best Canadian team in the States.
The true Leaf home game is in Buffalo.
Right.
That
exactly.
is like the Go Leaf Go chants, the fights.
I won't go to those games. I won't go to those games, and I won't go to Habs games because it's infuriating to be a home team fan and to be outnumbered.
Oh, yeah, okay, I can understand that.
It's
I'm a
so
Habs fan.
infuriating.
It's true, though.
I remember going to Sabres games, and it's like, $20 a ticket, $30 a ticket. At Toronto, 180, 120. Like,
yeah,
it just
what it cost you for a ticket in Buffalo is what it cost you for a beer in Toronto.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
No, I was in Tampa Bay during a playoff run. And
did you wear a bulletproof vest? Oh, that's way too soon.
Jeez.
Way too soon. That was nothing against the people that got shot. That's against the fucking idiots in that state. I'm sorry, but that state is fucked.
Shots fired.
That state. What
did I say?
When I was in Tampa, like this is the year that they won the first time they won the cup.
Right.
Semifinals, $12.
Yeah.
That's where seats were $12 dollars.
Yeah,
I'm like, it is cheaper for me to get a flight to Tampa, get a hotel room, a ticket, eat, drink, than it is to drive an hour up the street to go see Toronto play.
For sure.
It's ridiculous.
And you're going to see better hockey. Well, maybe not this year.
Well, maybe not this year, no. Toronto's actually got a good team, so...
He's Habs fan right
there.
Well,
my team's done.
We'll see when the playoffs hit. We'll see when the playoffs
Buffalo actually has a good player. He just can't...
No, Buffalo's got a lot of good players. It's just...
Well, you got Evander Kane, who's always in trouble for something.
Yeah, Kane's always in trouble for something. Okposo's a great player.
Jack Eichel always gets hurt.
Good.
Didn't they trade Kane?
No,
he survived.
They tried. We tried to give him away, but he's just got so much baggage. I didn't know why we took him in the first place, honestly.
Because Winnipeg didn't want him anymore.
And we wanted to tank that season so we can get Connor McDavid, and somehow Edmonton still got it. As
that's causing a lot of questions.
1 in 8 chance.
It's the Edmonton curse. They could win the Stanley Cup and still get first pick somehow.
You see, and they get rid of their first round draft pick Taylor Hall. And he's like the Hart Trophy winner.
Yeah,
this year.
he's lighting it up in New Jersey.
Yeah.
And
who ever said that about New Jersey, about an offensive player in New Jersey?
That was my second team.
Like, how does that happen?
Back when I was a kid, we got to play against the New Jersey Junior Devils, New Jersey State select team, the town of Pelham versus New Jersey, and we slaughtered them. But after that, they gave us pins and stuff. So I'm like, I was a little kid, so I'm like, oh, fuck, I'm a Devils fan.
You know what? But at least no one's a Penguins fan.
Not here.
Oh, no.
Fuck the Penguins.
I have a wrestling trivia question for you.
We have an update. Kane was traded to the San Jose Sharks.
Yes, that's right. That's right. He was. That's right.
Speaking of the Penguins fan, he just shit on a parade.
Yep. Thanks, AJ.
Hello, AJ. Hello.
Okay, pasta.
Okay. Wrestling trivia.
What former WWE wrestler, former champion from the Attitude Era, I'll even give you that, is a New Jersey Devils fan?
I was going to say Kevin Smith, but that's not a former WWE champion.
No, shit.
But he is a New Jersey Devils fan.
I don't know.
New Jersey Devils fan, so I'm trying to think it's somebody who must be near that area.
It would be too obvious if they were from Jersey.
Yeah, that would be too obvious.
I would say they've got the best wrestling podcast on
Jericho?
On right now. I said the best. Not the one that claims to be the best.
But he's the best in the world.
Yes, he if you ask him, he will tell you that.
It's Canadians, okay.
Best in the world at what I do.
He's only Canadian when it suits him.
So if he's a former champion.
Okay, well, people would say
he's retired. He's retired.
Then it's not Colt Cabana.
Stone Cold.
Nope.
No, it's definitely not Stone Cold.
Stone Cold? Not Stone Cold?
Stone Cold doesn't even know how to skate.
Ric Flair used to have a podcast. It lasted like a whole minute.
No.
Edge? No.
Edge and Christian.
You got it.
I got it with Edge?
Adam Copeland. Fucking right.
Yeah,
I listen to Edge
Points
and Christian
to AJ.
podcast every week.
AJ gets the point.
Edge and Christian podcast. That by far is the best wrestling podcast on.
But that's what pissed me off because when they had their own show,
I was a Bruce Pritchard guy.
Sure.
Because Bruce Pritchard's wrestling podcast is amazing. Sam Roberts is great too.
Sam Roberts from Opie and Anthony fame.
Yeah. Yeah, but he's a big wrestling.
He's on the.
Oh yeah, I was the biggest.
He's on the pre-show now.
I was the biggest O&A fan.
We don't watch pre-show now.
Biggest O&A fan. Is he's still doing his show with Norton on?
Yes, he is on Sirius. Yeah, and they get a lot of wrestlers on it, but he does a lot of the pre-shows. But he does Sam Roberts wrestling. Mm-hmm. Sam Roberts is the Dave Meltzer for the wrestlers. Whereas Dave Meltzer was the reporter for us fans doing the dirt sheet stuff. Mm-hmm. Sam Roberts, he placates to the wrestlers.
I remember listening to episodes of O&A where they're making fun of him. He had every single Raw on video cassette.
Yes, he did.
Every single one.
Yeah.
Well, what we're gonna do
He's a tape trader.
We're gonna do here. We're gonna just take a quick break. Okay.
Quick break.
Yeah, take a quick break.
Okay, we do that.
Yeah,
that's what we do.
We'll be right back.
Peace out. See you after these messages.
What? A break in the middle of the podcast? Well, it does kind of happen once in a while. So don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. Stick around.
Hello, my name is Arnold Braunschweiger, and I've been asked to tell you about this fantastic new recording from the guys at AM Audio Media. It's called Doctor Who Dark Journey Series 2. Did you know that I was in the running to be the next Doctor Who, but I couldn't fit through the door at the TARDIS. It may be bigger on the inside, but I'm bigger on the outside. Timey-wimey, timey-wimpy. Rose, Nikki, get to the TARDIS. You call yourself the Silence. You'll sing like a fireboy when I finish with you. Get the hell out of my time stream. I've succeeded in all my careers, all my goals, all of them. I'm a 3-time world champion. You'll need an upgrade. Cyberman. Exterminate. Haha. Exterminate. You're exterminated, motherfucker. Hope you left enough room for my son is screwdriver, because I'm gonna ram it up you. You're exterminated, motherfucker. Go to Warp 5, faces on stun, place the sheep. What do you mean this is not Doctor Who? I saw it on television. Doctor Who Dark Journey Series 2. After you listen to episode 1, I guarantee you'll be back.
Well, I know what you're thinking. Why did this happen? Well, it's a droidscanada.com. Find us on Podbean, Twitcher, Point of Interest, Laughable, blah, 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 long, drawn out kind of story.
Your podcast sucks, and there's no coffee.
Hello.
What have you brought me today? Tell me.
It's decaf. Yum.
It's promo time. Live from Droids Canada Podcast, I give you the agitated.
Yes! It's okay. It's the Mountain Man. He's from the show. Oh, come on. Find our award-nominated podcast, videos, and more at droidscanada.com.
And
That's
we're
right.
back in the studio.
We're back.
And I forgot to stop the promo. AJ, it's your fault.
Damn you, AJ.
God damn it, AJ. Damn you. It's Rick Rice. Hello.
Am I good?
Okay.
Is it? You said
Should I
Rick
be
Ross?
No, Rick Rice.
Should I be here?
Rick Ross was
Dick Rice.
Dick
Rice.
was rushed to the hospital today.
He was unresponsive.
That's right. Rick Ross. Rick Ross.
No shit.
Yes.
Oh.
You didn't really hear much after
You have
that,
no
though.
idea who Rick Ross is, do you?
No.
Really?
What?
10 bricks. 10 bricks.
10 bricks of what? Cocaine?
Yes, actually. Actually, yes.
No, the famous rapper.
Yes.
Rick Ross.
Do I look like a person? Oh, yeah, exactly.
No, that's the
that
guy.
sums up.
That's Rick Ross. If
he
you
just
ever
barks?
Kinda.
I mean,
that's his
I know
thing.
a guy when he threw up, he barked like a dog. I mean, he wasn't a rapper or anything.
I got a bunch
Going
of
back,
Rick Ross.
going back to Humber College days, there was a guy who during Frost Week threw up, and he was known as Captain Puke the whole time.
You know who I was in my acting class?
No.
At Humber College. Captain Video.
Captain Video?
Captain Video. What a douchebag.
Captain Video's a douche?
Oh, he was.
Ralph? Oh my God, we were
Ralph,
at the...
you're a douche. No, I'm kidding, Ralph.
We were at the
kinda douchey, though,
premiere
in
of
college.
the Beavis and Butthead movie, I think it was. And in St. Catharines and whatnot, you hear, oh my God, there's Captain Video over there. That's Captain Video. He stands up, he gives like a queen wave, and everyone gives him a round of applause, and then everyone shut up and watch the movie.
Right. That's
Beavis and Butthead.
It's too wicked.
Good times.
Too. That's Rick Ross. I was just going to put some on. Yeah.
He does have a good beard, though.
But apparently he's like
bad.
The thing was,
bad dude.
He's got epilepsy, I hear, and they're saying sometimes it's from seizures that could have been something that happened with the seizure, but
Really?
you know, it's people getting sick in Hollywood.
That's the way it is.
That's what it's all about.
So,
Tis the season.
The doomsday clock is ticking on Stan Lee.
Oh, geez. I thought you were talking about DC Comics for a second.
Okay. No, that storyline, I don't know if that started yet or not.
Yeah,
Did it?
Yeah,
Did
they're
it?
on like issue 3.
Yeah, I haven't been reading that one yet.
It was all right. It's okay. I don't know.
I'm
a
very-
big comic book nerd. Like every week I go through. I get about 6 every week. So
It used to be that bad, and then a lot of the stories just kind of fell off for me. Even Old Man Logan kind of fell off after for a while for me.
Yeah, I'd say that too. But I still read that one too. It's I don't know. It's all right. They've got Old Man Hawkeye just came out too.
Yeah,
So-
I saw a promo for that. Don't worry, Dan's totally out of this conversation.
You don't read comics, do
No.
you? Nope. GTFO.
He knows. he's the con stranger. He literally knows nothing.
I know some things.
Listen,
Yeah.
I've got the Welland Wingnut reads The Walking Dead, and that's it. And he doesn't consider
You know,
it a
even
comic
that
book.
I don't think I'm caught up on that right now. The Walking Dead, but that's a good segue in. What is happening with The Walking Dead? They killed Coral.
Coral.
And then they born a new Coral.
Well, let me just put it this
Who's
way.
the new Coral?
The kid that killed the guy at the end of the episode.
I have not seen an episode of The Walking Dead since the 3rd episode last season.
Really?
Every year, that show gets harder and harder for me to watch. Not because of any of the violence or anything like that. It's just the same old tedious
Same
bullshit.
old grind.
And it reflects in the ratings, and yes, a lot of that can be due to piracy and to things like Cody and shit like that.
Sure.
See,
but it not to the extent that it's been. I posted Rotten Tomatoes. They put the scores for every year for the ratings, and there's a huge drop
more and
from
more.
7 to 8.
You see,
it's
that's
a huge drop.
That's like people quite often make fun of me for this, but I'm a big Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. fan.
Me too, dude.
Okay,
I've been singing the praise of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. forever.
They're
They're
canceling.
done.
They're done. They're canceling.
No, they are not.
They're talking about it, but you know what I'm thinking? I'm thinking it's a red herring. I think they're moving to Netflix.
Possibly Netflix.
That wouldn't be
but
that
they
bad.
are also bringing the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. back into the movie universe as well.
Right.
They're going to be in Captain Marvel.
Are they?
Yes. So
well, I know they talked about it.
So they talk about how the ratings
Just
are dropping.
Coulson,
The ratings are dropping, but at the same time, they're also number 4 in most DVR'd episodes, like for ABC. And so, yeah, maybe it is dropping because they gave them the Friday Night Death Wish, but people are still watching the show.
And for it being okay, for all the comic book shows that are on network TV,
Sure.
The network TV comic book shows. So we're not talking Hulu. We're not talking.
So we're talking
you're
like
not
CW.
Netflix. We're talking CW,
Sure,
Fox,
sure.
The major networks. I think out of all those, maybe not last year, but going into last year, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.'s been like the best comic book show for the last 2 or 3 seasons.
Thank you.
Wow, you found one person in North America that agreed with you.
Because I've been singing their praise for so long.
Yeah.
I've actually converted a lot of people
Converted.
over. No,
Like,
I'm not even joking.
AJ,
like
what do you
May,
think of this?
Daisy, like great,
So
like,
well
good
written,
characters
so
in
well
it.
written,
Matt,
and the
great
stories have been good stories. What are you going to tell me? Gotham's a good show?
Um,
Because if you're going to tell me
no,
Gotham's a good
no.
show, you need to leave your own house.
See, their
I'm not even
biggest,
joking.
biggest mistake was killing off Grant Ward. That was the biggest mistake because he was the main nemesis. And
But you know what though? The thing with Ward though is that Ward, he's up in the top right there.
Yeah, it's a
And
Ward.
I had
holding a picture of Coulson.
I fucked up. I was supposed to interview Grant. Last year.
Yeah, last year at TorontoCon he was.
No. He was supposed to call me, and then I forgot.
Mm-hmm.
It happens. Sometimes you get so many of these interviews, and you just forget that an interview is going to happen. I need an assistant. But he just did a movie with Shawn Michaels, Christian movie.
Yes, AJ reviewed it. AJ, what was the name of it?
I forget what it was called.
He'll post it.
But,
It'll pop up in 1 second.
Yeah, I was supposed to interview him for that, and I totally dropped the ball on that one. I've done that a few times now. Will Sadler, that one I'll never live down. I
You
was
should
supposed
be
to
punched for that one.
Oh, I know. Tom Sizemore, I wasn't too.
So
that
Tom
one,
Sizemore.
Well, okay,
Except
so
for
the
Tom
Tom
Sizemore.
Sizemore wasn't really my fault. That one was kind of Tom Sizemore's fault because that was right around the time he got in trouble again.
Yeah.
And then I just never got the call.
Yeah.
It was scheduled and it just didn't happen, which happens a lot with actors.
He used his phone call for something else.
Yes, a lawyer.
Probably a
Could
lawyer.
order a pizza. A lawyer or some lube. We didn't say if he was the luber or the lubie, but
See, my favorite
Not my
William
business.
Sadler movie is Demon Knight.
What?
Tales from the Crypt, Demon Knight. I loved that film. Not the second one. The second one was really bad.
Demon Knight. I don't. It doesn't. The only
Resurrection,
Tales from the Crypt that I think of is
the movie
one with,
name.
Christian Slater is the only one I ever think of, and I thought that was like a made-for-TV movie.
The movie name you're looking for is Resurrection of Gavin Stone. That was the name of the movie.
Oh right, yes. That
Thank you,
was
AJ.
it.
Thank you, AJ.
Thank you. That is absolutely correct.
When it comes
AJ.
down to wrestling movies, done.
Nice.
He's all over it.
Well, yeah.
He even watched that really bad
So,
one with fucking
then-
Johnny Morrison.
Then I just do have
No,
to
I
ask-
watched it too. I had to review that one too, and I had to do the interview not with John Morrison, but with one of the other co-stars.
Yeah.
Which one though? Because there's two of
The
them.
Bounty Hunter
The Bounty
one.
Hunter Boone is so fucking horrible.
I saw this movie.
So
some
bad.
Of it,
Kevin Sorbo, you were so horrible, and you played yourself. You played Kevin Sorbo, and you couldn't do that right. How could you not play yourself right?
It's Hercules. How
on
he screws up.
IFC, I watched some movie about a town that everyone wore luchador masks, and
it
it
already.
had
I
Jim
love
the
it already.
Anvil Neidhart in it.
Oh, I loved it until that part.
And I'm like, oh my, like I need to know the name of this movie.
AJ, do you know AJ?
The movie with everyone in luchador mask and Jim the Anvil Neidhart. I believe he was a sheriff in the movie. It was just so horrible. It was good.
Did you ever
Almost
see
like the UFC one?
On a side note, did you ever see Walking Tall 2 with Kevin Sorbo? Don't.
No.
Don't.
No, I'm good,
Sorbo.
thanks. I'm good, thanks.
There was a movie with all the UFC fighters in it.
The one with Jet Li?
No, Deadly Warrior, Deadliest Warrior, something on those lines. And
with Batista.
No, it wasn't with Batista. Rampage was in it. He had like this horrible
Rampage
scene where he got killed. It was about this fight promoter would do things to these people and make them fight. Like he injected this guy's girlfriend with some sort of
it sounds
serum
like a Steve Austin
that
film.
would make her die unless he fought to the death with these people.
I think I've seen this in an episode of Justice League.
It is so horrible. But
that was Roulette.
So
Her name was Roulette.
Okay, you guys discuss.
Oh,
I'm
wait,
gonna
we have
find
the
out
name.
this
The
movie.
name has been provided. The Zombie King and the Legion of Doom.
Jesus
I'm
Christ.
telling you, he knows
That
all
guy's
these
the
fucking
fucking guy.
The fucking
Hang
guy,
on.
AJ. Fucking guy.
Okay, I'm gonna find the name of this fucking movie.
It's too late. He got
Can
it.
you guess what movie?
No, that wasn't the movie. That
You
wasn't
know
the
I'm a diehard Jean-Claude Van Damme film. There's
Bloodsport.
Well, no.
JCVD.
That was a very good film.
It was. It was underrated.
AJ, guess what? Guess what? AJ's only movie he likes with JCVD in it. Here's a hint: his favorite sports team's in it.
RoboCop.
or Sudden Death.
Sudden Death.
Sudden Death.
So that was the last professional acting job that I did.
You what? You were in
was
Sudden Death?
Sudden Death.
No.
So
You were in Sudden Death?
my agent calls me. No, I wasn't. My agent calls me.
Oh, God.
And my agent and I was doing all extra roles. So I was like in Kids in the Hall Brain Candy, and I'm like in the parade scene, and the best thing I'd ever done was a movie called Dangerous Offenders, about the very first female dangerous offender. I play a bailiff.
I remember that.
It pans right past me. You can see me.
Yeah, I remember
Danielle
that.
Roy sent me a screen cap of it. She's like, "Oh my God, I saw you on TV." I've still never seen. I've watched the movie and I don't see me on there. But I got to the point where that's all I was doing was extra work, and I know once you get stuck in the extra role, people are like, "Oh, bring me back that same extra."
Sure.
And you get stuck doing that. So I was like, I'm telling my agent, I'm like, "Listen, I want to be a principal agent. Like, there's other principal actors here. Get me a speaking
something,
role."
yeah.
And she's like, "Listen, okay, one more extra job, but listen, it's in this Jean-Claude Van Damme movie. You're an extra, and people are." She's like, "Don't worry about it. You're gonna be seen." So she's like, "Just go to Cops Coliseum and do your call." So I'm like, "All right, perfect."
Oh yeah, that's right. It wasn't Cops.
So I'm driving to Hamilton, and back then I was driving a 1984 Ford Topaz.
Oh my God.
With an AM radio in it. That was the only radio in it. And I'm listening, and on the AM radio station it says, "Anyone looking to be an extra in a Jean-Claude Van Damme movie, head on down to Cops Coliseum." And I'm like, "Oh shit."
That'd be amazing.
I'm like, that
Is
bitch.
that
I'm like,
one-
I pay somebody to actually get me these gigs, and she gets a cut of my money, and people are just going there and getting. I'm like, they can't be doing the same shit I am doing, right? Because like she told me they're gonna see me. I get there, they got everybody's all lining up to be in the audience for the hockey scene. And it's like, anyone who's got the agents, you come over to this line. So I go over to that line, and I'm like, "Yeah." Well, I pass everybody, like, "Yeah, I'm going to be a bailiff. I'm going to be something,
Right.
I get there, and they're like, "Oh yeah, you're with blah blah blah." Okay, you're just over there in the in the stands with everybody else.
Oh.
I turned around and walked out. I'm like,
That
"Fuck
fucking
off."
sucks.
I'm like, "Fuck you. I'm out." I called my agent. I'm like, "I'm done.
No, I got in Beginner's Guide to Endings. Was filmed some of it in Niagara, and I was in a scene next to what's his name, J.S. Simmons,
J.K. Simmons.
J.K. Simmons.
Yeah, nice.
In a boxing match, and he was the manager, and I was like cheering next to it.
Was that the movie with the Miles Teller? Miles Teller movie wasn't? Oh no, that was Whiplash.
Yeah,
that wasn't a boxing movie. Never mind.
Yeah, no, it wasn't really a boxing movie. It was a movie about three brothers who were all going to die.
Oh,
so I found the name of the movie I was talking about.
What?
Death Warrior.
Oh, okay.
Oh, and there was a Death Warrior 3, I think.
A gritty MMA fighter is forced into a twisted underground gambling ring in which he must fight to the death with other MMA fighters in order to save his wife from certain death at the hands of a maniacal crime boss. In a desperate race against time, he is forced into a series of increasingly violent life and death
needs
matches.
to review this film.
While simultaneously piecing together the puzzle, which leads him to uncover the identity of the promoter and the ultimate showdown in which there can only be one Death Warrior. Starring Hector Escoveria, George St. Pierre, Keith Jardine, Rashad Evans, Quentin Rampage Jackson.
Boom.
So you sure Dana White didn't pay for this goddamn movie? But you know what? The best part about the film is it can't be worse than Manos Hands of Fate. See, you've never seen it.
Nope.
Oh my god.
Never heard of
No, it is literally the worst rated film in the world. And we used to do this segment
Worse
where
than Battlefield Earth? Worse than Man of Steel?
Worse ratings than Booty Town?
The Man of Steel?
Oh, come on.
Man of Steel was great if you like 2 hours of fescue in the wind and gravestones and Martha.
I can't even get it.
You know what? Sometimes you have to go through some pain to get to a film, like Inglourious Bastards. You had to deal with those shots at the beginning of the film to get to the actual murder.
God, the fucking fescue.
I'm at the point where if I have to sit through something to get to something good, it's not good.
True.
Like when people and I'm sorry, people are gonna hate on me for this, but Breaking Bad.
Oh,
I've had so many people tell me, "Oh, Breaking Bad is so great. You just gotta get through that first season and a half." Dude, I did a season and a half, and that was one of the most annoying fucking shows I've watched in my life.
4 episodes.
Jesse's a bitch.
Yeah,
Jesse's a little
can't argue
bitch.
that, no.
All he did was whine the entire time. His wife was a literal bitch. Like, I hated her. Himself, yes, I
Skyler.
get he's got cancer and everything like that, but he was a little bitch. Like, seriously, in that first year and a
his
half.
character becomes so good, though.
So
That's the
do you
worst
think
part.
that the blue meth is what created the
The
world of
Walking
Walking
Dead?
Dead?
Vince Gilligan said that if Kirkman and AMC was on board, they would have.
And Kirkman said something about it recently that I thought that they gave some kind of nod to that, or I don't think it was Kirkman. I think it was Gimple.
There was a nod in Fear the Walking Dead as well as in the first season.
Our resident
meth.
for New Mexico was offended by your comment.
Oh,
Wait, which comment?
The Breaking Bad not being good.
Daniela,
don't give a fuck.
Daniela, I'm sorry about the Starbucks comment. That wasn't
The
made
hot
to
dog
be
water?
snarky. It just kind of came across that way.
We shit on her
typing.
so much because she lives in New Mexico.
Oh, what's wrong with New Mexico?
She's the New Mexican pork chop sandwich.
Is that racist?
Nope.
You never seen those GI
Is
Joe?
Jingist?
No, it's
Is
a
it
GI.
jingoist?
It's the
You never seen those
GI
Joe
PSA.
PSAs?
Yeah.
Okay, it was the pork chop sandwiches.
Oh, right, with the
Get
fire
the
one.
fuck outta
The fire
here.
one. Yes.
Steve Lambert says Breaking Bad was awesome. Get this guy off of your show.
Honestly,
is
why
that
would
the
you let
Welland-
someone like Stephen
It's
Lambert
the
on your
Welland
show?
Wingnut.
Hey, don't you got to go bother Kim or KK somewhere?
I don't care. We can shit on KK on this show because I don't give a shit. I'm with Ryan. Pass on Breaking Bad. Fuck off, AJ.
That's right.
AJ
AJ's a
doesn't know
smart
good
guy.
TV.
He's a
See,
smart
look
guy.
at this. This guy knows his stuff.
Here's
Agents
a good
of
question.
Shield.
Here's a good
no
question for
Breaking
you.
Bad.
That's why I'm the grandfather of geek, though.
Fucking right.
You know,
No, to go back to
not
your-
just because I'm old.
I'll go back to your comment about TV shows. Opinion on Black Lightning.
I love it. I think it's fantastic. Honestly,
Dan, you had an opportunity. You sat down with the
I
creator
had
of Black
a
Lightning
nice
the other
chat
day.
with Tony Isabella a couple weeks ago,
yeah.
and
He's what'd you refer to him as?
he's
the
like
Uncle
that.
Tony.
He's like that uncle at a family gathering that everyone just listens to because he's such a good
engaging.
talker.
Nice.
He's so engaging, and the
Now,
stories
is he a brother?
No, he's pretty white.
He's a white dude, eh?
Yes,
I'm surprised.
but he
I'm
was-
surprised. No,
he
I'm
was-
just being because of the tone of the show.
Oh,
and
sure.
and how much they
his
emphasize on.
upbringing though he was like raised kind of like around Cleveland, like around the hood in Cleveland,
Yeah.
and he grew up with a lot of black friends.
Nice.
And when all the superheroes and everything's coming out, he's like, there is no superhero of color. So he wanted to create one,
Right.
and that's what he did back in
Oh,
'77.
I thought you meant the creator of the TV show.
No, this
I
is
didn't
the
know you
creator of
actually
the
meant-
character.
yeah,
Oh
okay,
no,
yeah,
and
yeah.
he also created Misty Knight as well.
Misty Knight as well.
Nice.
And he was just talking about how like his upbringing got him to do that, and now it's relevant again. Like he created it in '77.
Yep.
And even the people from the show were contacting him to get more insight on the character. And
because Black Lightning was what the fourth black superhero I believe in
so.
comics, because it was Black Panther, then I believe it was Jon Stewart, and then I'm not too sure.
See, I'm
after
not
that.
the
but I
comic-
do
I'm
think
not
I
the
think it was
comic
the
book guy,
fourth.
so I gotta.
I do believe it was the
He's
fourth.
just
I don't
in
know.
a-
Comic book fans.
Asian?
Now they're fighting in our
He's our
comments.
fact
What are they
checker.
fighting about now?
Oh, Danielle and AJ constantly go back.
About how
Because
bad
we
Breaking Bad was?
we did an episode when she came up from New Mexico, and AJ could not tell us one 5-star movie. He doesn't have a 5-star movie. He refuses to
Who,
have
AJ?
it. Yeah. So we're like, okay, fine, but now it's turned into a whole argument. And
I
now
don't know
they're-
if I have a 5-star movie myself, honestly.
Okay, what is the greatest movie in your opinion all
Ever
time?
made?
Ever
It's
made?
going to be Empire.
No, Shawshank Redemption. There's never been a better made or better acted
That
movie.
had an honorable mention on the show.
That is a great friggin'
Yeah,
movie.
There's never ever been a better made movie or a better
And
book.
if you look behind that curtain, it actually says Brooks was here.
Oh, nice. Nice.
What?
Yeah, right.
Well, never mind.
What explains why there was an old white man hanging himself in my office the other day?
Actually, that was David Carradine.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Well, at least he didn't
yes.
come out of the closet.
he came in the closet.
He, Did he pull
you know
an
what?
NXS?
He did. He did. He
Yes.
pulled a Michael Hutchinson.
Hey, he came in a box. That's all that
He came in
matters.
a box.
Elegantly wasted.
Jesus.
I'm sorry, but I still hate what's his name. The David Geffen, is that his name? The guy that
The record producer?
Yeah.
Yeah, the guy that was fucking Michael Hutchinson's wife that caused Michael Hutchinson to kill himself.
No, I thought he killed himself by.
He
Or
did.
is that the story?
That's the story.
So much
That's
death.
The story. Yeah. But yeah.
Oh, David Geffen.
Is it? Can I ask? Is this the most vulgar your show's ever been with me and Ian on it?
No, not even close.
All right, so
I'm
we
sorry,
got
I'm
a lot
sorry.
more work to do then.
Oh,
All right.
my God.
All right, right.
What
What is the long wig not saying now?
Leonard Part 6, best movie review ever.
Leonard Part 6 with Bill
best
Cosby.
movie ever.
Wait. But Leonard Part 1 through 5 were arguably not as good as Part 6 though, because it's almost like people don't even remember those first 5.
I don't remember.
That was like Bill Cosby when everyone still loved him.
Yeah. Well, because everyone was eating the pudding pops, and we all know what was in the pudding pops.
Fucking Spanish flies.
Okay, so the joke is, I guess I should let you know, Leonard Part 6 was the only Leonard movie.
Oh, yes.
Okay.
There were no first 5.
I don't know a lot of nerdy stuff. I know Leonard Part 6.
That is pretty nerdy.
What was the quellish? That was the word they used. Is quellish was the
I couldn't
secret
even.
word.
I don't even remember that.
Quellish,
Honestly.
and everything would attack.
We did. So I posted a thing. Like, I'm like, I'll rank anything that you guys mentioned. Blah blah
Sure.
blah. Top 5, and someone did horror movies, and my 5th movie was Mr. Boogedy. Boogedy. Boo! You don't remember Mr. Boogedy?
Nope.
Come on.
I'm
Well,
not
you're youngish.
I'm youngish.
Okay,
how
listen.
old are
He
you?
just
We're the
started
same-
watching
We're the
horror
same
movies.
age bracket, dude.
Well, how old are you?
I'm 40, turning 42 in a couple weeks.
Oh yeah, we are. Damn, how do you not know Mr. Boogedy?
Because
Was
he
that-
doesn't. He just started watching horror shit like 2 years ago.
It was a kid's show.
I literally,
no.
The only way I started watching, little shout out to Jen Johnston. She's turned me into a zombie for Niagara Falls Con. I have never watched anything before then. I have
really?
been terrified of horror movies,
too,
of
dude.
zombie stuff. I don't like that shit.
No.
I got through The Walking Dead. That's the only thing I've
You
done.
got 5 minutes into Ash versus the Evil Dead episode
and I
1.
tapped out.
Oh, see, I can do that. I watched the entire.
Well, no, it's the part when she did the fucking
Yeah.
thing on
As
the
soon as you
ceiling.
twisted, I was gone.
I can watch fake horror like that where it's over the top and you're like, oh my god, this is just too much. Like it's a laugh. My mother showed me The Exorcist when I was 5.
Oh.
When I was 5,
See-
it was so bad when my mom would have her friends over and they wanted to have their party time. They wanted to smoke a joint. I'm guessing. Don't hit me, mom. But they, my mom's friends would be like, "Oh, Ryan, the Incredible Hulk's coming on," and I would lock myself in the bathroom.
Oh no!
Because every time that Bill Bixby turned into Lou Ferrigno's Incredible Hulk, he would change, and part of his change were his eyes.
Were the eyes.
Yes.
And they were the same eyes that Reagan had in the Exorcist movies. So I thought the Incredible Hulk was possessed by the devil, by Satan himself. So, and the rage made sense. So
There's
yeah.
only
Thank you, parents.
Right.
The difference is that I grew up in horror films. It was always horror films, but there's only one thing that tripped me, and AJ made fun of me during it. Facehuggers creep me the fuck out from Aliens.
I was just gonna say, yeah.
It literally the worst.
And see, and those don't
can't
bother me. I don't even
I
consider
can't even
those
watch
horror
it.
movies.
We went and seen Alien Covenant, and as soon as the egg opened, I was like, done. And I'm sitting there, and AJ's like, Dad, dude, don't be a fucking pussy.
I had
I'm like,
when I was about
Heart attack in the can,
6 or 7. My brother, parents were gone, and brother made me watch Return of the Living Dead with him. We lived behind, like, really close to a cemetery. We shared a room. He'd be at night going, brains, cry, have to sleep with mom because I was terrified. Still till then, like, growing up in high school, someone turn on a zombie movie, I'm like, fuck, I've seen this, man. I'm cool. I'm gonna go outside and smoke. But meanwhile, I'm like pissing myself because I'm like, I can't watch
It's
this.
like an hour and a half later. That is the longest smoke.
It took me so long. Fuck this. I'm playing Atari. It took me so long to actually be able to admit that I didn't like this. And
you know what I would do?
I couldn't watch I Am Legend.
Oh, come on. That was a great...
It's fucking sad.
That
Those
movie-
little pod people. Turn it off.
I remember Jason Grant, who was like the coolest kid in high school.
Sure.
Or not even high school. It was elementary school. And or maybe it was just the beginning of high school. But it was Nightmare on Elm Street 3 or 4 had come out. And it was his 14th birthday party.
All right.
14, I remember this. And we all go over to his house and we're watching this movie. And if we're all facing the TV like this, I am sitting right beside the TV at such an angle I cannot see what's on it. And I'm doing this on purpose.
100%. I've done that move.
Yeah,
I've done that move.
I'm like, oh yeah, great movie. And I'm telling you that I've still to this day never seen Nightmare on Elm Street 3. I can tell you everything that happens.
You're turning your ears off.
I was a
nobody
die-hard Freddy Krueger fan.
Oh, dude, I had a nightmare when I was a kid. And there's not many nightmares I remember or dreams I remember, but I remember the nightmare I had of Freddy Krueger. I lived behind the old Met, the old Lincoln Plaza.
Yep.
It used to be called the Met because the Met was inside there.
I remember
and
even
there
where
was
the
there
fountain
was
was.
there was besides
That was
the
back in the Tower Zellers days.
No, just after Towers.
They were on the other side.
Yeah, but it was Towers was gone by then. But there was the donut diner, I think it was inside there. But there was this little video, like right in the middle, right before you got to the Met or any of these other stores inside the plaza. There's this little spot that was all arcade games, and one of them was a stand-up wrestling game. And I stayed up the entire
Matt Mania.
No, it was the one with Mr. Perfect on it. It was the very first one where you could actually see
Like a
the
WWE character?
It was the WWE game. He did the standing drop kick in it. It was an amazing game. But I'm playing this game. I had a friend sleep over the night before, and we stayed up all night and took my grandmother's laundry quarters to go play video games first thing in the morning as soon as the Met opened. I had a seizure right in the middle of the Met. I'm telling you, as I was playing it right in the middle, the hottest girl in high school was working at the donut diner at the time, and that's what I woke up to was her looking over top of me going, "Are you okay, sweetheart?"
You know me?
She did after that.
Nice.
It was either Superstars or WrestleFest.
That's it right there. That's the one right there.
Oh Jesus!
Yeah, man.
That's old school.
Yeah, man, that was a great.
Nectar
game.
Donuts. Steve Lambert says.
Nectar Donuts. That is correct. Yeah,
and
that is correct.
AJ says WrestleFest. Played it yesterday.
And he most likely did.
No, seriously.
AJ actually has world records for scores on video games.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Yeah,
like noticed by what is that place in New
Guinness,
Jersey?
I don't know.
Game something or like what King of Kong was.
AJ's
on.
a nerd.
He's got a couple of world records for obscure video games.
Nice.
You got to be good at something.
That's right.
Got to earn
If
those.
they're obscure video games, though, is it really saying a whole lot?
It's
if not
a
that
record.
many people.
It is a record.
At the end
he
of the day.
has the highest score.
Okay, but if I was to come out and say, "Listen, I hold the record for sticking my finger through my eye the hardest," is that saying a lot because nobody else has done it?
There's people with records for eating the most nickels.
Yeah,
it's not smart.
Okay,
there's a record for the most people on
AJ
floaties
says
in a
it's
canal.
Twin Galaxies.
Twin Galaxies.
Twin Galaxies.
If that man's playing Twin Galaxies, didn't think anyone noticed.
Okay,
I don't know if anyone got the reference there, but all right.
No, I'm totally out.
That man's playing Galaga.
Oh, Jesus.
Okay, no, I got to look up something now.
Tony Stark
you know what?
action.
You know, you go look that up. We'll just go to our last break. All right? All right?
Okay.
All right. I won't fuck it up.
His eardrums were scientifically altered for world peace. His ears are more finely tuned than yours or mine. He can listen to a podcast from a mile away. He is the most dedicated podcast fan in the world. I do not always listen to podcasts, but when I do, I prefer the Tanjabang Network. Keep listening, my friends.
Salsa shark. We're gonna need a bigger boat. Throughout history, they have been a part of our Canadian life. Men and women who have made their mission to entertain their fellow man. They've worked hard enough. Isn't it time they had their own podcast?
Droids Canada. This podcast would be great if it wasn't for the internet trolls.
I don't bother them and they don't bother me.
I could do without the bad reviews in the iTunes store.
You have that podcast with that guy who was at that Comic-Con in the last year?
You should hear the barrage of the stupid questions I get on our SoundCloud account. What do you mean there was coughing? How am I going to hear a podcast with coughing?
You feel a lot better if you just rip into the occasional guest.
You're a host who doesn't get paid. You can't just do anything you want while you're recording.
What kind of podcast are you running here anyways?
Droids Canada Podcast present.
You think anyone can see us down here?
Why? You think you want to have sex or something?
Can we?
Droids Canada Podcast. The only show to rip off a Clerks trailer.
You hate people! But I love Comic-Cons. Isn't it ironic?
This podcast is a proud member of the Points of Interest Podcast Network. Visit us today at poipodcast.com.
Whatever kind of floats my boat.
Yeah.
No, what floats your boat? Let's go with that.
What floats my boat?
What floats your boat?
Water.
So
usually.
We've been a little bit off topic, but it's been a lot of fun off topic.
Did we have a topic?
We originally discussed having a topic, but
this
have
is
never
how the
once
show goes.
stayed on topic unless it's Urban Dictionary, and then we just laugh our
Oh
asses
my
off
god,
all the time.
Urban Dictionary.
So, especially if you look up Welland, and there's like 6 different meanings under the Urban
Did we
Dictionary
ever
for
look up
Welland.
For Welland, we never looked up
should.
Welland.
Oh no!
Look it up right now. Do it right now.
Oh god, this is
Go
gonna
Google
turn.
that shit, yo.
This is gonna turn.
The last one was
we don't
pretty
want to
bad.
upset the Welland Wingnut, though.
No.
No, the Welland Wingnut. I think he added a few of these.
Did he want you to say a certain
Welland,
pair of pants
okay.
and an accent on While We Are Alive?
What?
Home
Did he
of
want
Crazy
you to say,
Pat.
Trousers? Or?
Trousers. That's how I do. That's my Sean Connery. I can only say one
You can only
word.
say
Sean.
trousers?
That's all I could say.
Shiza? No.
Trousers.
Welland, drug city
right?
found in
But
Ontario,
anything else?
Canada.
Right?
Drug City? Nice.
Home of Crazy Pat, the Lincoln Street Bar Beer Store, the greatest bar ever, the Elbow Room. That's got to be updated.
Even
It's
Pat is
tailgates
on
now.
Urban Dictionary.
Well, Pat should be.
Anybody
Welland?
got an extra cigarette?
The Kansas of Canada.
Hey, want to drive down to Welland for the... No, you got to read the thing that it says up there.
Oh, hey, want to drive down to Welland for the weekend? Fuck no, Welland sucks.
Each one of them has something like that, like a descriptor.
Welland, a place in Ontario, Canada, in the Niagara region where a bunch of old people, snobs, and druggies live with a few decent people. And can't wait to get out of Welland. Welland, the welfare capital of Canada. It's probably not wrong. Oh my God, look at this one. Did Steve write this one?
Yeah, this is the one that he wrote in response to Christy Knight's
Oh my God.
submission.
This is
Steve,
current.
really? Jesus Christ. Okay, I'll read it all.
Welland is such a ghetto full of drugs. Wrong. How about you visit a place before you write an Urban Dictionary definition? That was definitely the Welland Wingnut.
Like, oh my God, they actually went to the Wikipedia page
Oh, yeah.
and just copied and pasted. Well played.
Can we talk about Welland being ranked the 17th most romantic city
yes.
in Canada?
100%.
Because
romantic in terms of people jumping off the bridge.
But you know what?
No,
People
it is-
talk shit about it, and Welland is a beautiful city. If you look at it,
I have
Merritt
said over and
Island,
over.
Merritt Island for one, Memorial Park before whatever the fuck they're doing to it now was absolutely gorgeous.
I have said over and over, I would take Welland over St. Catharines. I would take
Absolutely.
Welland over Niagara Falls any
too.
given day of the week.
I've lived in all the major cities around this area. I've lived in Toronto. I've lived in Hamilton. I lived in St. Catharines. I lived in the Falls. I've lived Welland and Port Colborne. And for my money, Welland, well, next to Port Colborne, because Port Colborne's pretty fucking badass.
I
But Welland
actually
is a
enjoyed Port Colborne.
great city,
See,
especially compared to all these. You look at Niagara Falls.
East Side!
The crime that happens in Niagara Falls,
It's a whole different
way
type.
outnumbered.
Now it's getting out of
Falls is-
control, 'cause
Niagara
now they're
Falls is
shooting
filled
at-
with tough guys. Everyone's a tough guy.
And
Well,
Niagara-
so's Welland,
Welland's
though.
like, well, no, but growing up in Welland, the one thing that everyone from Welland have is their word. Welland guys, most often than not, they have your back all times. And friends of mine that I've grown up with from Welland, 10 years could pass. I don't say a word to them.
Sure.
Run into them just like old times. And that's the
Yeah.
whole Welland thing. We don't have much, but they got each other.
Yep.
And I prefer Welland to Niagara Falls and St. Catharines.
Well, for sure. Like, I mean, I liked Port Colborne when I lived there for a few years. It's this nice,
I love
quiet
Port
town.
Colborne.
This
I
is
love
like,
Port
like
Colborne.
we're actually
It's
doing
so
a Welland love section, love
No,
session here.
but I
where
mean-
we're not talking about the e-bikes. We're not
Well,
talking.
I feel like I have to
E-bike
now that I'm
Mike?
going. Now that I'm doing the ribbon cutting tomorrow.
You're gonna
and
have to
meeting-
kinda play it up a
interviewing
little
the
bit.
mayor. I got to get in the mood already to
So
get-
is e-bike Mike gonna be there? Remember e-bike Mike?
Yes.
What's that say?
East Side for life.
Oh, okay. I didn't know if he was taking credit for the
I don't
Urban
know.
Dictionary.
That's why I said East Side for him. No, I think Welland's is a great town. I mean, St. Catharines is a fucking hole. I despise going to St. Catharines. Toronto is in.
St. Catharines is good if you got to do business. If you
Sure.
got to do business in a city,
live in Welland,
I think
go to
St.
St.
Catharines
Catharines
is a great city to do business in. It's a
Sure.
business mecca. It's the small Toronto when it comes to the business sector.
Right. Right.
And you know what? Even some of the entertainment they've got there, they're probably a larger entertainment for us, for locals.
Sure.
It's a better entertainment capital for us locals than Niagara Falls is.
Right.
Because Niagara Falls is just for tourists.
It's just tourists, yeah.
But St. Catharines is that place where we go. You got to go out of town? Well, let's go hit St. Catharines.
Yeah.
There's bands there. There's the Meridian Center now, so there's wrestling.
Oh, they have
there's
nightlife. They got some
nights.
amazing restaurants. They have the what's that, Showcase, the comedy place.
Yep. We've got the Niagara Podcast Network home base is there. So cheap shout out.
Podcast
that no one heard of, because I never heard of them.
Niagara Podcast Network.
No.
That's who we're with. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, man.
Hello.
They're really good. They're very good. Trevor Twining runs them.
Oh.
They work out of one of the co-work spaces out there in St. Catharines. So yeah, they got a lot of shows. Yeah, they were nominated for a bunch of stuff. Trevor's up for Producer of the Year actually. So
cool.
Yeah, man.
Nice.
Yeah, and well
Niagara
deserved.
Podcast Network.
I'm pretty sure
Hello.
it's Niagara Podcast Network.
Oh, it'd be kind of bad if you
got it wrong and your show's on it.
You know what?
We'll find out tomorrow when he's kicked off the network.
I've only been there once, and
shit.
and it works different though with me. They take my shows and then they put it on there. So I record it.
Okay.
I'm not going to the studio and recording.
Okay,
there.
so you're pretty much sending them the files and whatever.
Yeah. Because like I said, I have these actor interviews I do weekly, right? So usually they call me and then I put them up and go from there.
Sure.
Yeah.
So
send it and not have to do the work, because I sometimes will try to do some interviewing and some videos and stuff.
I end up doing all the work.
I send it to him.
Right.
He does all the work.
Yeah. Nominate Todd. Thank you, Daniela. For what? The guy who does everything? Shit.
Dude, you're talking to the wrong guy about saying you do everything. You've got a whole team here.
A whole
Just
team?
Recently, I've gotten on my
team?
producer coming on. No, I'm saying though, you've got a lot of help, buddy. You guys are doing good.
When does this help start? When does this help start?
Does nobody help you with the
website
or anything
no?
like that?
All website, all editing, all posting of everything, all pages.
AJ
all
writes
done
reviews.
by him.
He writes a handful of reviews a month. He does videos at the con.
I've done one review.
See,
I do
all
more
that.
video.
I do it all. I do it all.
So.
I delegated to them because I was tired of doing it.
Like I said, we had a producer that was doing all the video stuff for us, and then there was a bit of a falling out there, misunderstanding, and then
oh no, not you.
No, wasn't me. It
well,
never,
in Wingnut. Was it him? Was it the KK situation?
It was all done by KK?
It was all KK.
KK
just
wow, you guys really fucking shit her cornflakes.
She went after our producer and turned him against us. No, I'm kidding.
I don't. This is why I don't have
kidding.
Producers.
I love you, KK. Come on the show.
No, we'll have her.
No, I meant mine.
No, maybe we'll set it up so you guys can have like
a meeting of minds.
We can do like a presidential debate or something like that. You know.
Have a moderation.
I have nothing to debate with her.
Have a moderator.
We'll find something.
Wingnuts
be
one
the
side,
yes.
KK on the other side, and then a moderator.
I'll be
KK, how
the
do you feel about this?
I'll be the moderator for that one because I'll be the only one that can keep Steve calm probably at that point.
Give them both like Nerf guns or some shit like that too. Just keep it interesting.
Nerf guns and goggles.
No, we got to get what's his name, fucking Blazer and Gemini from American Gladiators with the
Blazer,
fucking
laser, and
tennis
taser.
Ball. Yeah.
Oh, the tennis ball cannon.
Turbo.
Man,
Nitro.
I wanted to be on that show.
Me too.
Everyone did. That or roller games.
Yep.
Oh yeah, I forgot about roll.
Yeah. I wanted to be on Slam Ball when it first came out.
Yeah.
And then that dude broke his leg, and then I was like, I don't want to be on the show anymore. That looked really bad. And I mean, I was in shape then too, and I was like, no.
I hurt my knees just watching it. Slam Ball.
At least it's not like MXC or anything like that.
Well, MXC was great. Keep it minty. That's the only thing I've kept from that. Is keep it minty.
What is MXC?
Most Extreme Challenge.
Oh,
they take the Japanese game shows.
No, I know.
Yeah,
that was one. When we did the charity event this week, so the Christian company that it is, their backers is Crossroads, which the people that do 100 Huntley Street and a bunch of other Christian shows. One of the actresses from one of their big shows, or one of their hosts, she was there. And she told me afterwards, she's like, we need to get you your own show. And she goes, I see you on a show. She's like, have you ever seen that old Japanese show that used to be on
MXC.
Spike TV? Yeah. And she's like, and they would have American people that would like do the voiceovers.
Do the voiceovers, yeah.
She's like, you'd be perfect for that. And I'm like, all right, hook me up. You know, I don't know.
Here's my card.
I really
I'm available.
I really did give her my card. I'm like, I don't want to go back to work. Please call me.
They had Guy Ledouche.
Yes, Guy Ledouche.
Ledouche.
Yeah, it's good
But
times.
Whenever the
was
contestants
it Mr.
would
Kabuki's
start,
Theater or something like that too? Though was there another one that was just like it?
there was, I believe, there was another one that was like it, but was that more like a Wipeout?
I don't know.
Wasn't a Wipeout was strictly like American and Canadian. I think Jonathan Torrens hosted one of those.
No, the Canadian one was hosted by my buddy Jason Agnew and his buddy Matt Chin.
Jason Agnew from the wrestling law?
Yeah.
All right.
But not anymore.
No.
But yes.
Is it off the air?
Yeah. Jason, when I did the Welland Rose Festival the first year, Days in the Park, I had Jason and Matt come down and as our celebrities and talk to them. Hey, Sarah, how's it going?
Hello.
Yes.
So that's what I do.
Hello. Oh, I said hello, Sarah, not hello, Siri.
Oh.
God, you're dumb, Siri. She's Australian, so that's why. I'm kidding. I love everybody in Australia. That's our biggest fan base. I don't know why.
What again? Virginia.
Virginia.
Yeah.
We got Virginia.
I've got Virginia, too. The guy I interviewed today, Tom White, that's where he's from, is from Virginia. And he's been. That's the reason why I got the interview. He's been a fan of the page since 2013, he said.
Yeah, there's some tech center in Virginia, which apparently is our largest viewership.
Oh, nice. Right on.
So,
sweet.
Isn't that like where the CIA goes and trains? Is it in Virginia?
No, that's Quantico.
No, that's the FBI.
That's the FBI?
Yeah.
I just watched Criminal Minds before I came here. What's that?
Who trains in Virginia?
Virginians?
No.
Virgins.
Oh, my God.
Oh, God. No.
Oh, my God. All right, well, we're coming to the end of the show. Ryan, what is up? What are you up to next? What's coming up for you that you can tell us?
So, just go to Niagara Falls Comic Con this year.
Oh, yeah, we know that.
There's we have big announcement coming up shortly. Next week on our show, I believe we're doing our psychic show. So I think one of our psychic friends is going to be on the show, giving free readings and stuff again. We have free tickets to give away, a pair of tickets for Sunday's Niagara Falls Comic Con. We have a whole bunch of signed swag that we're giving away as well. That was donated to us from James at Niagara Falls Comic Con. So like we've got signed autograph or signed picture from David Hasselhoff and things like that. Right? And they all come with a certificate of authentication on them.
Met the Hoff.
Yep.
Nice guy.
And that's what, $100 photo op with them, right?
Probably,
And with the signature, usually more. So we've got all those. And we have some other artwork, like I said, from John Gallagher as well to give away. So we've got a bunch of giveaways that we're doing at the Geekery. So come on out every Saturday, 6 o'clock.
You sure?
PM.
You sound a little. Could be.
I was trying to figure out how I was going to work in the address and everything too. But it's 7,000 McLeod Road, Niagara Falls, Ontario, Canada, in the A&W parking lot.
And that's a live show.
That is a
live show.
That's right. Yes, we had a great show today. This was our award show today. So
I could never have a psychic on the show.
I could.
She would read through my shit.
It could be a man psychic. Don't assume.
So the last time don't
assume the gender.
The last time we had them on, I had 4 of them come on the show.
Ever have Psychic Nikki?
No, I'd have no idea who Psychic Nikki is.
She was the psychic on 102.1 on Dean Blundell's show.
Oh, I don't know.
She was great. I had a little interview with her. She was awesome.
No, I have no idea.
Pink hair, just crazy.
These ladies came on. They were with the Spiritual Niagara Network, and so they were psychics and mediums. So they could see the future, and they talked to dead people. One of the mediums not only spoke to, not only did she see dead people,
sure,
but she saw dead pets.
I see dead people.
And
sprinkles.
She saw fairies.
Okay, wait, what?
Right?
What? No. What?
Right?
I so want to meet this person.
Right?
I so want to meet this person.
And she's not the only one. I actually went on a blind date a couple weeks ago. And the lady that I was on a date with, we were talking, and she's talking about what I do, and I was telling her about that, and I told her about working with the psychics, and I told her about the lady with the fairies, and she's like, "Oh yeah,
you know Linda?"
Actually, she was like, "Oh
yes,
that's Linka."
Linka, I was close. See? Psychic right here.
I was like, yes, actually, that is her. And she's like, "Oh yeah, you can see fairies, you can see colors and stuff, which is like emotions
Jesus
and
Christ.
stuff." So, yeah.
So
needless to say, it was our last date.
It's
nice lady.
So
don't
you're
get me wrong.
psychic. So you know what's going on with me? Shit. Okay, see ya. And then away you go.
It was more like, so you're psychic. You know where this is not going,
She knows,
right?
she knows about the chloroform. Shit.
I know about the
you were-
zip ties.
If you're psychic, you should have known not to tell me that, right? I'm just saying. Because no, I'm kidding. She was a lovely lady, but fuck, man.
You always use
fairies. Where do fairies fit into it all? That's the only thing I couldn't figure out.
You always work on
where
this.
does fairies fit in with you talk to dead people and you see dead animals, but then you see fictional dead things as well.
That is a conversation
I don't know where fairies fit into
love
this.
to have with someone. That would be like. That would
Okay,
be the
but
greatest
I'm
conversation.
trying to understand the fairy part of it. Like, it's bad enough that like the pet part is already kind of I can see your cat sprinkles. What do they say? I don't know. She just pushed a fucking glass off the counter. That's all I saw. But fairy.
Yeah, how does it fit into
How
it?
does it?
Me too. I know. That's like saying, I see dead people. I see dead animals. Oh, and I also see dead warlocks, or I see dead ogres or orcs. Like
play a little bit of World of
it's
Warcraft
like
a little bit.
Unicorn just ran past
Yeah,
you.
it's
But
like
you can't see it.
Oh my God.
Neil Patrick Harris is fucking a unicorn again.
I see Frodo. I see Frodo everywhere.
I don't even. Oh man, that scares me now. Because I'm single too, and I'm in the going on these dates and stuff like that. That would terrify the fuck out of me right there.
Well,
take it for the entertainment that it is.
Well, it's
I
true.
mean, I had to get it. I had to wait until after I got the handy, and then I was like, I'm out. But
the worst.
You know what's going to happen, don't you?
Yeah.
Woohoo!
I'm out of here. I'm like, you're psychic, so you know if I like how far this is going to go, right? Can you just let me know now, and we can just. We don't need to talk.
You're
going to
know when to close your eye. Yep.
Right.
Best pickup line ever. Put a Kleenex in your
Asparagus. I'm just saying. A lot of asparagus last night. I'm
Jesus
sorry.
Christ.
Sorry,
Oh,
but I'm just warning you ahead of time.
Here's a pickup line for you. Just put a napkin in your hand and go, "Excuse me, does this smell like chloroform to you?"
Oh. No, I don't like that one.
Wins them over every time.
Oh my God. So my friend Serge, we used to hang out at this bar called Times Square back
Oh
in the day.
my God.
And we used to hang out there. We hung out there when Louis was in jail, before everybody else started hanging out there. And we hung out there underage because that's just what you did. My buddy Serge, shout out to Serge Violette, his pickup line to the girls were, "Nice shoes, want to fuck?"
Oh God.
Yeah, and I've heard that all over the city.
And it'd be like, 9 times out of 10, he's getting slapped in the face or they're laughing him off or whatever. But 1 out of 10 times, the girl's like, yeah. And it was always the girl you didn't want to say yes to, but no offense, it was Serge, you didn't care. You just didn't care. So.
There was another one my friend Brian used to do. It said 1 in 10 women will say yes to having sex with you if you have a condom. So he went up to 20 and struck out 20 times. He would walk up with a condom and go on a condom, want to fuck? And I'm like, I can't believe I'm fucking watching. That was back in the rack and roll days.
Oh, rack
and roll.
Crack and roll.
Crack and roll the time bomb.
Those were good days.
Hot shots.
Krabby Joe's.
Hot shots. I lived above Hot Shots for about a year.
Wasn't Hot Shots at the Met?
No, Hot Shots was right across from Babies.
From Rabies?
Yeah, it's above the
okay,
cross street from the Rub and Tugs.
Wasn't there a bar that was like at
no,
the
it wasn't. It was
Met?
right across the street from Babies, right beside
Oh,
Gatfield.
yeah, Gatfield. Yeah. It's not like a hardware store.
It's like a used store, like used odds and ends.
There was a bar that was it in the Lincoln Plaza that was like
Jam and Java
downstairs?
Playpen. I used to work there.
Playpen,
man.
yeah.
So when I was a kid, we used to hang out there. So I was like real young, and I used to like stock the bar for them, and then we'd go there on the weekends, and they'd let us in, even knowing I was young. But we would have like, it was back when everyone would dance, and they would play Meatloaf, Paradise by the Dashboard Lights.
Oh God!
And I would act it out every time, and I swear to you, I would have the entire bar up there dancing with me. I'd have like girls lined up to do it. That song, and anyone who's watching this who knows me from the time will remember this. That song. And Strokin' by Clarence Carter. Oh. I would get the entire bar up and doing the dance, stroking to the left, stroking to the right, stroking to the woman.
My only memory of the Playpen is that's where I saw, was it SummerSlam '92 when it was Bret Hart versus Mr. Perfect?
Upstairs though.
It was upstairs.
It was Players One.
Players One at that time. Yeah. That's why I don't remember that.
Reminiscing of Welland watering holes.
The Atlas. That's where I watched WrestleMania
the Atlas.
3.
Oh my god.
Ricky the Dragon Steamboat versus Macho Man Randy Savage, and arguably the greatest match ever in any wrestling organization. Oh, go back and watch it again.
It's in the top 5. But...
No, it's definitely the best. And this is obviously opinion based. So if you have a different opinion than mine, of course it's wrong. But no, I'm kidding.
Let's see how that didn't work.
No, it worked. It worked
because he's still out in left field right now.
Well, because he's trying to think of that was the match with. That was the first time we all got enthralled in false finishes. Because there was I remember being at the Atlas Hotel and as a kid and people being there with their kids and families and everything, and every time it was 1, 2, the crowd just going crazy inside the bar.
Yeah,
it was.
I just remember
nuts.
Ricky Steamboat and Macho Man with the bell in the throat.
No, it wasn't the bell. It wasn't the bell in the throat. What it was he was coming off the top rope to hit Macho Man, and he missed, and he hit his throat on the outside barrier cage. I remember that one because he couldn't talk forever.
I don't think that wasn't
like this.
That wasn't a WrestleMania.
Oh, Jesus
that
Christ!
wasn't the WrestleMania
you talk
match.
shit about me.
Well, it's my
no, it wasn't.
That wasn't the
match.
WrestleMania match. That's like my memory
I
of
think you're
wrestling
thinking
back
of
then
like
is that.
one. No,
Yeah.
I think it was a build-up match.
No, it's when he won the title because he was.
You got him in the
throat.
Yeah.
Well,
but the WrestleMania was what happened afterwards.
All right.
That happened afterwards, and that match was. Like I said,
what about King Kong Bundy versus SD Special Delivery Jones in 7 seconds?
King Kong Bundy versus anybody should never be on a top.
We're
talking about the top.
One of the greatest WrestleMania matches of all time. Hulk Hogan, King Kong. I can't even finish it. Hulk Hogan.
Why are you saying Why are you doing King Kong Bundy like Andre the Giant?
Because I'm a firm believer that Andre the Giant,
like a peanut.
Andre the Giant and Bane have the same voice.
That's
true,
my thing.
and that's because we met a cosplayer named Sid, and he's a really big guy.
Yeah.
And then he's doing this interview with him, and he's like, "You like Hulk Hogan?" You're like, "Hulk Hogan."
No, he was. I'm like, no, because he was Bane. I'm like, you ever think Bane sounds like Andre the Giant? Hulk Hogan, I'm going to go after you. Would you like a peanut? And he just kind of didn't know what to say.
So
we have literally driven to a con for 2 hours, just saying over and over again, "Would you like a peanut?" and laughing just like
or
idiots.
Time I
and
woke
you guys
up
don't do drugs. How is that?
Because we're naturally fucked. I woke up my ex-girlfriend from a dead sleep, and she hated it, by the way. And I woke her up.
Well, you said ex-girlfriend, so I
ex-girlfriend.
figured.
So,
I figured it didn't go over
So I
well.
woke her up, and she's like, "What's wrong?" I'm like, "Would you like a peanut?"
Would you like a
She's
peanut?
like, "What the fuck?"
Yeah, I would send text
yeah.
messages. Would you like a peanut? just for the piss
So
off.
wrong. So
You
wrong.
gotta be able to laugh. I mean,
there you go.
Whatever.
Right.
You gotta be doing something right in this world. Like Hulk Hogan wanted $750,000 to appear at a New Japan show.
Yep.
Did they?
No,
take
not
him up
Russell.
on it?
Not Russell.
Just to appear.
Some of these prices for some of these appearances that a lot of these wrestlers, especially a lot of these old time wrestlers, are asking for, especially even for cons. Like I've heard some of the prices for a lot of these.
Like
these
Hulk
guys
Hogan's ridiculous.
Yes, like he
wanted 200.
Edge,
really?
Edge. Well, because Edge doesn't want to do them. Christian does them because Christian doesn't really have much else. He's got the ENC podcast.
I would love to meet Christian for sure.
Oh, me too. Me too. But he does the cons because, Edge is in Vikings right now. He's been filming Vikings all year. Just got back from Ireland like last week. That's how much I listen to that podcast. So he doesn't need it. And from everything that I've read, you listen to the podcast, and Christian is the asshole. It sounds like out of the group, right? He's just the snarky one,
right?
But from everything I've read, it was Edge that was always kind of the asshole that was never nice to fans and shit like that, So I don't personally know. That's just dirt sheet talk. So
no, dirt sheet.
He says she says.
Easy. Don't talk dirt sheets.
They got a bunch of wrestlers coming to Niagara Falls this year.
Yeah, they got Flair. He got Flair again this year.
Flair?
Yeah.
And Rey Mysterio.
Rick was really nice.
Yep. Rey Mysterio was huge.
Yeah.
Rey Mysterio was huge. And a lot of people think that Rey Mysterio was the makeup guest for Honky Tonk Man backing out.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
For Honky Tonk Man?
Rey Mysterio was always there, and he was just being one of those late announcements to be like,
just so they can have multiple announcements to keep the whole.
You don't want to
Niagara Falls
release your
con in your
entire.
head. Yeah.
You don't ever want to release your entire guest list right away.
Like if you're replacing Rey Mysterio, or you're replacing Honky Tonk Man, and you're using Rey Mysterio to replace him, that's like saying, hey, listen, I went to school with a peanut butter sandwich, and then when I got there and opened it up, it was a steak sub. That is the ultimate upgrade.
It's a bit of an upgrade. That's trading your Chevette in for a Corvette.
That's like 1,000% upgrade.
That's a fantastic. I'm just never been a fan of Honky Tonk Man.
Oh, I don't know about that. I saw Honky Tonk Man live in
Greatest
Welland.
Intercontinental Champion of all time.
Yes. No.
All time.
The Miz is.
The Miz is.
The Miz is arguably the greatest villain that I think I've ever seen, next to Piper, and maybe even more so than Piper, because Piper flipped back and forth between face and he retired as a face. You know, the majority of his career he was a face. People just remember his greatest part of his career was leading up to that, when he was a heel to Hulk Hogan and Mr. T.
See, when we saw WWE live, like, it wasn't a televised event or
it was a SmackDown.
Miz was so great on the mic.
Miz is amazing. Miz is amazing.
You know what? I have to give him credit, man. He found his stride, and he just...
I think he found it a while ago. Like, we've been singing his praise easy 2-3 years now.
Yeah. You see, I'm a firm believer that I could be, and I'm putting a shout out for anyone.
Shit.
I can be a Italian Paul Heyman type.
Del Bruno
manager.
is not going to want you as a manager.
Italian Paul Heyman type.
So,
I can get people to hate me like there's no tomorrow.
So there's a wrestler named
I can't see it.
There's a wrestler named Alessandro Del Bruno.
Sure.
He works Alpha One.
Yeah, which is awesome.
He thinks he's cousins.
No, I'm just a consigliere. It's what
it's
it
funny.
is.
We saw him at the NXT show, and he's like, "Hey," I'm like, "Hey, how's it going, man?" Well, what happened was at the last Alpha One show, Del Bruno was, what was he doing? And that you caught him.
What?
Remember when you said hello, and then what'd you say? I'm the Godfather or something like that.
No,
You said,
because he's the Godfather.
This is what I don't get, though. So a few years ago,
yeah,
I had asked you to be on our show before to do a wrestling show,
and
you knew shit about wrestling then. Like, you knew absolutely nothing.
What happened was
what? Like, how did you become this big wrestling guy?
I was always a wrestling fan. What happened was after the Ruthless Aggression era died, I was checked out. There was
the Attitude Era, you mean?
Well, yeah, the Attitude Era. Yeah, I was checked out. There was no good story. I came back a little bit when CM Punk was there.
Yeah.
But AJ got me into the Indies, and the Indies is amazing. It will destroy anything. And I
not
can
all
tell
Indies,
you,
but yes.
Well, not all Indies. There is some bad feds out there, but I mean PWG, and you got New Japan, you got Dragon's Gate, Chikara, CZW, and AJ dragged me right back in, kicking and screaming, and now I can.
See, on my aspect of it, it goes back to the whole con stranger character that I have. I don't know shit about wrestling. I still don't know shit about wrestling. But all I know is I can talk on a mic.
But you found out what a strong style match is.
Holy fuck! I went to my first indie show and I was like, "Holy fuck! This is better than anything I've seen in WWE."
Do you know who Chris Dickinson is?
No.
Oh my god. That guy can lay fucking
I'm like,
bombs.
Holy shit. I was doing my face the whole time. Are you fucking kidding me? Hello. Waving. Who's the guy who I got waved back? It was like, oh, hi.
The Ben Affleck guy.
No, not Affleck. The guy with the
There's
lollipops.
a guy who kind of looks like Ben Affleck.
The guy with the lollipops.
Oh, Joey Ryan.
The dick suplex.
The King of the Dongsta. So,
King of the Dong style. Yes, he gave me
I'm
the
sorry.
hello back.
I'm sorry, but
Joey
that's
Ryan.
where I stop. That's where I stop.
Are you a Cornette? Are you a Cornette?
No, I'm not a Cornette guy.
I fucking hate Cornette.
Don't think just because I don't like this one absolutely fucking stupid ass fucking move. I'm sorry,
It is pretty bad.
it is the stupidest fucking thing I've ever seen in my life, and I've watched wrestling
It discredits
everything.
what the actual people do.
Okay, so then you definitely. What was the match? The King of the Dong style versus Papa Schlongo.
Papa Schlongo.
Who was Papa Schlongo?
And Gregory Irons. He's an Alpha One guy.
No, I know. I like Alpha One a lot. I haven't watched them in a long time though.
Abyss was there last show.
Yeah, well, no, Alpha One and Destiny do great fucking things right now. And I think Destiny, I think Impact's moved to Toronto.
Yeah, well, they're.
See, I've heard
Okay, what happened was
they've got like 3 shows coming up in Toronto.
They moved it to Toronto.
I think that's where they're doing their tape shows. Are going to be in Toronto.
So they moved Impact to Toronto, and they've had a lot of problems since moving it to Toronto. Like during their one pay-per-view, they were paying people to go.
That was Ottawa, wasn't it?
That was Ottawa.
That was Ottawa?
So now Destiny, which is what's his fucking name? The Italian guy. What's his name? He was
Ethan Page. No, Ethan Page is Alpha One.
Alpha One. No, who owns Destiny? It
was a big PWG guy.
Santino. Santino.
Yeah, Santino Morello.
So they're doing like a cross brand right now with TNA and Destiny. And actually, I saw the card. I'm like, I might actually go.
It was a good card. It was a good card. It was Austin Aries and
just say double A something.
No, because I was talking to one guy and they said they lost EC3 and Lashley.
Wow.
Well, EC3 showed up at NXT Takeover. And
that was
I think EC3 is one of the most overrated and worst and stiffest wrestlers I've ever seen. That to be billed so high.
Sure.
And I think the WWE was right the first time getting rid of him.
Right.
And then TNA was smart to try to make him their John Cena, because that's exactly what they did. He was their John Cena when he first came out. Dixie Carter's kid,
and that's what Eric Young was their Daniel Bryan.
Yep, and then they switched it. They switched it all around. They gave him the heel that they wanted. They always wanted Cena to do, which is a stupid move in my opinion.
My favorite thing of NXT when I saw it, I finally got to see, in my opinion, the world's greatest athletic wrestler of all time, Ricochet.
Definitely.
Oh my God, the guy moves like butter.
Was that your first time seeing Ricochet?
Not like live. Yes.
Oh, live. Yeah.
I've watched
I've never
PWG.
seen live.
My God.
Yeah, and he's been along way before PWG. I can't wait till Tessa's up in NXT with him.
Yeah.
If those two become a mixed tag at some point or whatever, they're going to be the new power couple in wrestling, though. Like, those two are... Like, Tessa Blanchard is the best female wrestler not in WWE right now.
However, WWE signed someone, and I'm mad that they signed him.
Who's that?
Keith Lee.
I don't know who that is.
Really?
Yeah.
When you walk out top right corner. The guy is 6'1", 350 pounds, and he runs around like Rey Mysterio.
Yeah, I don't know who that is.
He's really good.
Is that his stage name?
No, his real name's Keith Lee.
What's his wrestling name?
Keith Lee.
Okay, that's what I was asking.
It's Keith Lee, but you will be blown away by his matches. They're just absolutely amazing, and he's not taking bookings past me, so I'm kind of upset about that.
I don't know any of the people whom you've spoken about for the past couple of minutes.
But you met Cody Rhodes. No, you saw Cody Rhodes. Did you
I saw him.
Cody.
Sorry,
So,
Cody and Brandy Rhodes.
But
That's
like
right,
I'm
Brandy
saying,
Rhodes.
But like
Cody
I'm saying,
and Brandy Rhodes.
If there's any indie
he's
wrestler
so nice.
who needs a manager, I will make people hate
Yes,
you.
because wrestlers definitely want someone representing them that's not
Listen,
a wrestling fan.
Paul Heyman. Paul Heyman
100%,
exists,
man.
Sarcasm.
100%,
dude.
Sarcasm.
Paul Heyman exists because Lesnar can't talk.
Paul Heyman exists because Paul Heyman is a fucking genius.
Well,
and Paul Heyman can make anybody over.
That's
But
true.
Paul Heyman doesn't want to make anybody over. Oh, yes,
Curtis
he can.
Axel.
He didn't try. He didn't want Curtis. He didn't want any of those Heyman guys.
What's the guy?
He let a lot of them go.
Cesaro section.
Yep, same thing. He didn't want Cesaro either. All he wanted was Lesnar, and they kept trying to give Heyman a stable because they wanted to build stables up again. Which I love the idea of having stables
Try to do
again
like
in
a
wrestling.
Heenan family kind
like
of
a
thing.
Heenan family, like
Could have used you
Jimmy,
the other day.
Jimmy the Mouth of the South. He had the Heart Foundation stable.
Harvey Wimpleman, Million Dollar Corporation.
Man. There's been so many, and
And
we
that's
need
what I like
stables
about-
back.
And that's
We
what I love
do.
about the Bullet Club. The Bullet Club is a huge stable,
Yeah.
and there's guys on there you never heard of.
Okay, so this is what I hate about the Bullet Club.
Here we go.
No, and it's nothing about the Bullet Club itself. Let me put it this way. Let me put it on a different spin on it.
Okay.
I'm a Buffalo Sabres fan.
Okay.
Die-hard Sabres fan.
Sure.
I have been my entire life. One of the things I loved about the Sabres was, like back in the day when I was following the Sabres, even the people in Buffalo didn't like Buffalo. It was like just me. Like the Sabres were my
Sure,
thing.
I was it.
And then when Drury and Briere and Hasek all got there and we went on that run, everybody in the fucking world became a Sabres fan, and it pissed me off. I've been a Bullet Club fan since fucking Prince Devitt, which a lot of people don't even know who that fucking guy is. That's Finn Balor, for those of you that don't know who
during
he
the
is.
AJ Styles administration.
Right. Did you, though? Or were you... Because
No, I really did.
AJ was... He wasn't there very long.
No.
Like, AJ was with the Main Event Mafia
I
and
knew
TNA, and then he was at ROH.
Yeah.
He was with the Bullet Club for a little while, but it was the Bullet Club was so fucking cool when they first came out, and nobody knew who they were.
Yeah, I agree.
Like, except for diehard wrestling fans. Now, thanks to the Young Bucks, everybody knows who
Love the Young
fucking
Bucks.
everybody knows who the Bullet Club is.
Sure.
but it's the same feeling now. It's the exact same feeling with the Sabres, where now and I don't mean this against you. It's just, but everyone who didn't give a fuck before now gives a fuck, and everybody's like, oh well, I'm with Bullet Club. I'm with
You know
this.
what? That sounds
and they're
like-
making all the cool things not cool. So the Bullet Club was very cool, but now they're almost not cool
Right.
because they're just too trendy. They're too over at this point. It was so
I
much
can
better
agree
when
with
they
that.
were
It's too saturated. It's NWO now.
But it's hilarious because you know how they got their Hot Topic deal.
Mm-hmm.
By the Hot Topic, I see in the kids
Shirts
wearing
at
all these
WrestleMania.
shirts.
Exactly.
He's like, why is everyone buying these shirts? Because these
But
shirts
they
are fucking
didn't
expensive.
buy them, though. They fucking the elite were there,
Yeah.
handing out fucking Bullet Club and Young Bucks shirt to all the fucking WWE
And
fans.
it worked.
Exactly.
It's amazing.
The Young Bucks. Okay, listen. They're this one night only show or whatever. They're
all night, whatever.
all in the all in
in.
show. They're gonna fucking sell out. There's no
Especially
fucking
if it's
doubt
in
in my mind.
Chicago.
You know what? If they were really smart, if they wanted to make sure it sold out no matter what,
Yeah.
they do it in Toronto.
Really? Why? I'm curious.
Canada has always been a hotbed for combat sports,
Yeah.
real or not.
Yeah.
That's a reason why WWE survived on TSN for so long. Why it survives on Sportsnet. When Sportsnet was almost over, not Sportsnet, Headline Sports, the Channel 43,
Yeah.
the one that now that they're owned by Sportsnet,
Yeah.
they almost went under a few times, and the only
Right.
thing that was keeping them afloat was
rough.
wrestling.
Yep.
And that's because we're such diehard wrestling fans. You talk to wrestlers, and they will tell you it's a different thing when you come to Canada.
It is.
You know, because we just take it so serious. Not even seriously, because we know it's fake.
Well, we love it,
But
though.
it's our
That's not a
soap
bad
opera.
thing.
You know?
Enjoyment of the entertainment.
Like, I mean, I
Exactly.
could just tell you from even going to indie shows. It's insane to go to these goddamn like Alpha One. We have to get there an hour early, even though we have gold tickets. We have to get there an hour early so
no
we can
doubt.
get our seats. And then and then the show is just start to finish. You're just on the edge of your seat. Like it took him to his first show.
I went to my first show a couple months back, and I was like the whole time I'm like, holy fuck, holy fuck.
But I mean, Ethan puts on an amazing show. Like,
Yeah,
the guy,
Ethan Page is he's a goer. Who was it? Him and I think it was Gargano had a huge fucking they were teammates, I believe,
AJ
in PWG, and then right before Johnny left, he turned on him.
Yep.
Right,
I believe so.
And because is he still heel right now? Ethan Page, because he was a baby face, but so he's back to baby.
Cody Rhodes
he's doing
turn
a,
on
he
him.
did a he did an angle.
That's
of Cody.
different though.
But I don't know any backstory.
No, he was
or
face.
news
There was no
stories.
backstory. There was no backstory with
He's
that.
been face since I've been going to Alpha One since last year.
Oh, really?
Like he's been having but since I've been going to Alpha One, he's been tied in with Cody, so they've been doing the tag team.
Do the nerdy guys the scientist guys, are they still the tag champs?
I think so, yeah.
Because they were the fucking best. They came in on fucking little
Those
hoverboards.
little hoverboard.
Oh yeah, they were so
I love
horrible.
the
I'm
indies
like,
for
that's
that.
my guys.
Yeah.
I love the indies for that because these guys just they have their own creative freedom. They go have fun and stuff to that effect. Anyways, though, hour and a half, we're done.
Yeah.
It's the longest show we've done in a while.
Or sorry,
Every show I
Ryan
do
and the
lately.
other guy.
No, Ratchi's good. Ratchi's good. They keep
So
it easy.
please plug your shit.
RATG TV. You can go to our webpage, ratg.ca, ratg.ca. I'm the only one working on this page now. All my writers always bailed. So I haven't been posting a whole lot lately.
Yeah.
I do want to, if anyone is watching, the agents out there that send me these interviews all the time and all these movies and stuff, I'm sorry I haven't been getting to them as of late. It's been a busy-ass month for me, but we will be getting to those. I hit up a few this week, and we'll get back into a regular swinging thing next week, and the page should be up and
Get
running.
on top of this.
Ryan's All Things Geek on Facebook, RATG TV group as well. Find us on YouTube, Instagram. We're everywhere, man. Twitter. And thanks, man. Thanks for having us on.
We got a goodbye song.
We do have a goodbye song.
What is it? What's the song
Dropkick
say?
Murphys.
Maybe it's because we were at the show.
Yes, we were
Let me
at the
tell
show.
you, we gotta tell you, man. We finally learned that we're old.
Oh yes,
Yeah.
We pulled through the Murtaugh card down. I'm too old for this shit. Like immediately, like holy
Standing
fuck.
there an hour and a half before the show, and the show's not even on. We're like back pain.
But I've said before, and I'll say again, this show was filled with people aged 30 to 50 who you could tell caused some shit when they were young.
Oh, yeah,
You
'cause
could
they were
tell.
all
But
old.
now they got like mortgages and jobs and stuff, so it's like, oh, I want to,
This
but I
is
can't.
my night out on a Tuesday.
Yes.
Well, Ryan, thanks for coming on the show.
Yeah, thanks a lot,
Finally,
man.
2
Been a
years in the
blast.
making, finally on the show. But you know what? You're going to have to come on more now. I'm sorry.
Sure. Hey, man.
We have to get Steve back on the show, too. It's been about a year.
The doctor?
Oh, Steve was on our show.
I don't know. What.
Steve comes on our show, and 9 times out of 10, I try to steal the mic from him because I'm just like, stop. Stop.
So just you get a board, just turn the microphone off.
No, I have my producer that does that, and my
turns mic
producer is evil, and he loves to see me squirm. So he usually
I'll
turns
love
him up. He turns him up and turns me down. So
yup.
All right. Well, thanks for being on the show.
Yes,
Check
thank you.
him out. He is the reason why Droids Canada exists. He's he kind of brought me into the fold.
Man,
you did bring me into the fold in a room of like 20 people on it. That was my first podcast. An iPhone in the middle of the room, 20 people talking.
Did I have my MacBook with us too then?
No, it was just your iPhone.
I thought I had a MacBook
the second
too.
time you had your MacBook.
Oh, right. Yeah.
So-
Shout out to Black BLX Club for starting me off.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, Dan, go ahead.
All right. This is the first time I've actually done the live feed thing where I'm on video, so
no pressure.
Fuck y'all. I'm going to punch all of yous. Bye-bye.